Hi everyone and welcome back. This section should hopefully be our last. We just got a few little more things to do and then you guys can finish it up with all your final details and that after this. As you can see, since the last section I've done quite a bit of tweaking. I've added a lot of little areas like on the gun and that we finished off in the last section, as well as the shoulders. No new techniques or anything like that, so definitely don't panic or don't think I've done something that you guys can't handle, because all it is just doing the same techniques over and over again just to really start sprucing up our model. So let's get into our little character's legs here. I want to just grab this first little armor piece here, and we need to cut out little holes so that our legs will fit inside. That's the last major thing we need to do for the tutorial, or for the model, and then it's all, again, just detail work. So we're just going to grab it, modify, convert, NURBS polygons, grab the old one again. And this one's going to be a little bit different to do. So I'm just going to grab the two areas I want to keep, shift select again, and hide the areas I don't want to see. And what we're going to do is basically make this little area here a cutout so that we can extend our character's leg inwards a bit more. So I'm just going to go to my side view, and I'm just going to work on the one half. I don't need to do both, so I'm just going to grab my split polygon tool. And I'm just going to move over to like this. And as well as the bottom. Enter. So we have something that looks hopefully similar to that. And I'm going to right click, and I'm just going to move some things around now. So I'm just going to grab some of these vertices right here on the top. I'm just going to make sure I have enough room over the top there. This guy can kind of come back down a little. Now I'm going to grab these four faces just inside where the leg is starting to protrude from. I'm going to extrude. This time we can use, let's go in a little bit, so we're going to center just a little bit, and you can bring it up just a little bit. You want it to be kind of a snug fit at the same time. You don't want to have it in the wrong area, so just kind of eyeball it, and we can fix this all up later once we delete it. So that looks not too bad, so I'm just going to delete those four faces. Now I'm going to go in. This is what I'm doing it on one half. Raise this guy up a little. Same with this little guy. So I'm just going to make a little bit of a better circle shape, pretty much. There we go. I'm going to convert into a sub D really fast just to see how that's looking. You can see right there, it's not too bad. I'm going to grab my character's leg. Remember, still sub D. No, sub D. Let's try NURBS first. There we go. And we're just going to make sure that that's going to fit in there the way we're after. We're going to convert this after in a minute. So again, we got our little cutout. We're going to go back into a regular polygon now. Move these up a bit. So the main thing you want is just to have it flow. There we go. Alright, so we're going to cut it in half. I'm going to delete. And we're going to actually have this as two separate pieces of armor underneath now. So we're going to extrude. Remember just to push in. If you want color, if you want, you can go center it as well. So it kind of goes in an angle. Started doing that in the last section. Convert. Much better. So we can bring everybody back for a minute. Now when we convert, remember we want to make sure that that armor piece is going to look and feel like the rest. So the only thing I would say right now is I need to shape it a little bit more. Just in a few of these little areas here. See how this one really kind of springs outward. I'm just going to push that back in just a little. Again, if you're having trouble seeing what to move it around, just use your X-ray. So you have something that should look very similar to this. You can duplicate it over as well. Now we can also, again, clean up those corners a bit more if you want. Just by going in, you can actually probably do this from the top view. You just need to hide everybody there. Just make life a little bit faster for us. So just going to grab everybody I don't want again. Shift over top, hide selection. There we go. Make sure that everybody is nice and straight right down the center here. 8, and then grab our cut face tool. And a new line there. Invert. You see now we're just a little sharper on the corners. It has a little bit more of a reptilian, not reptilian, but an insect type shape, which is really cool. Go in there now and really just make sure that these openings here are just around our character's first leg. Something like that works really well. So I'm not going to do the second leg. I want to just, again, make this section as short as possible and just get the last few things in there so you guys can see. You guys can just repeat this for the other leg as well. Alright, so let's just grab one of these legs now. We're going to do all the armor for that. So again, hide selection. Do a convert. There's polys. Push over. Back into position. I'm going to duplicate it a few times. Let's do 3 because we'll probably break it up quite a bit. Alright. Now you remember this has kind of a look where it's broken up in a few different spots. So we're going to do that first. So I'm going to grab one of our duplicates. And grab just the joint. Let's just say just past the joint here. Shift select, delete, go back to the original. I'm going to shape the original a little bit here. So I'm going to convert into sub D. And we're going to make it a little bit straighter from the side here. I'm going to grab all of these little guys here. And we're just going to scale. It's a little straighter. Convert back into a subdivision, or not subdivision, but a poly. Grab your cut face tool, which should still be loaded. Add another line right there. Convert. You see that we're starting to get a little bit straighter look, which is what we want. Now we've got to fix the very ends of our model here. So again, convert. Just delete that whole edge line back there. And then from the front here, we've got some four-sided faces. 3. Just delete those little guys. Make sure that the one in the middle is merged up. So we have something that looks similar to that. So we're going to go back to that first little spot that we duplicated. Let's move around. And we're going to make an armor plate over top of it. Move this back into position. Now if you notice, this one kind of swoops up, so I'm going to delete just a little bit part of it here. And I'm going to hide but just move my other duplicates up a bit so you can see the original there. Just going to move it there. So I'm kind of making this little edge line right here. This is going to kind of move up like this. It's going to sit just over top of it. I'm going to add some lines using your cut face. Come down here. It's going to come right down to about here. Top a little wider. Go to original here. And we've got some three-sided faces we're going to take care of real quick. Basically, this is just pretend this is the bone of the leg because you need to add a lot more to it on top. That's the best way to describe it. So we have this little piece of armor here. So I'm going to grab one of those extra little guys we made. Again. Just going to put them back into position real quick. And we're just going to cut the front so that we have some of the front to work with now. looking at it, it has 3 different parts, so we're going to actually just use our cut face tool so we can break that up into 3 real quick. I'm just going to put one here, kind of match up the angle of that line there. Select your faces. Just going to delete that line there. And look at your image plane again. Move this other little piece. And we're going to delete these little guys. Go back in. Make it a little bigger. I was saying before, this is basically all I was doing in between the last section with some of the armor that you saw there, just going in there and adding extra plates or anything like that. There's no real spectacular new things I was doing or anything like that. It's just basic shaping and getting things ready for detail. So let's see how this looks like with the smooth on it. Okay, let's just go a little wider. Now we can grab that original inside. And we can cut off that front part right off. Kind of like his toe will be, pretty much. And the other thing I like to do is when I have something like that, I'll just make it a little bit smaller so it kind of fits in there a little nicer. Let's see what we can do to the front here. Just want to make sure that all of these guys merge, especially that little guy in the front there. This can cause trouble sometimes. It's always really good to make sure that they're all merged up. Now deselect the front guy and make a little bit of a point. Now convert. You see how much nicer that geometry is. Remember, it was all kind of nasty looking, so that's why we did that. So go to your top view. Actually, side view will probably work better. I'm just going to narrow it a bit more. Like that. Now, it looks like we have, again, these little areas here that kind of are loose and just connected by, like, say, like a ball or something like that, so that it can pivot. So we're going to kind of get ready for that as well. So we're going to bring this section in a bit, this section back out. And same with this little area right here. Now if you don't have an area here where you can pull, you just need to add a little bit of geometry. So see how this area on the side here is really bare. You have your cut face tool. And put one, and actually match it up with the original first. Right there. Now we have a 5-sided face there that we have to worry about. So I'm just going to grab our merge tool here. Just pop that up to the top there on both sides. And we have another 3-sided here. A hard time with the numbers today. I'm going to add another line. to fix that up a bit. Come around top. Make sure that these guys are lined up for sure. Let's use your scale tool. And we can bring this up. What this will do is just give us a little wave in that armor plate there, which is okay as well. So when we convert, we have a little bit of a nice little look there. Alright, so let's get into making those joints a bit more visible. So I'm going to duplicate this leg, and duplicate it again. And delete this part, basically reforging. I'm just going to center these guys up. Go to your top view. Grab your cut face tool. Add one row. A little wider than that. There. Around there. Select faces, delete some of them. So you're left with something like that. And then you're going to do the opposite on this side. And then cut face tool. And grab the edges just on the outside here. Extrude. Something like that. Pull this one out a bit. And remember how we've done this before. Let's grab the edges. Extrude down. It'll match up the first edge. G. Center. Fate. Just gonna turn on X-ray and start merging it. Grab vertices. Now these guys are going to have to move individually on the top row by selecting them and deselecting them, because some of them will hit the target a little bit quicker than others. So you want that one to hit a little faster. So basically we just made kind of like a finger joint real quick. Something that'll pivot and move with us, kind of like we did for the fingers, pretty much exactly what we did there. So we need to do that for the toe as well. Just go to the top. Not very exciting to watch, I know, it's kind of boring. That's the way it's done. At least I do it. And just like we did before, just start merging. The other important thing to remember, oops, there we go, is make sure that these guys are going to bend right. Make sure that these guys are far enough out, so let's pull that out. And then these guys are in the center. So make sure that our center area here is lined up. I'm just going to scale it down. And then make sure these guys are lined up as well. This one's going to be a little bit tucked in. And this can kind of move. Inward a bit. Same with these guys on the side here. Kind of move like that. Just enough so that you can put that round bolt that you see in the image there. Let's see how this looks like as a smooth. Not bad. We can make it a little bit crisper. And the easiest way to do that is your top view. Grab the cut face tool once again. Add a line right here. And there you go. These guys got a little bit off on one side, so just going to straighten those back up. Cut face tool again. Now we'll convert. Now we have nicer, more machine forged lines. Alright. Let's just delete our original now. Just move this guy back into position. Grab that guy on the very front. And we're just going to, again, merge, not merge, but just concave inside of that toe area. So it's stuck inside there. Go to our armor now. Convert. You can do them individually as well if you want. Extrude. Now we want to make sure that we can see that joint that we created. So I'm going to grab both pieces of geometry and the whole section right there. And I'm just going to move it. And move this one back and just rotate it back down a little. So you can see this does take a little time to get going. But you can see just in a little bit of time that we spent on it, it starts to look really more robotic and a lot more like our image plane just by adding simple little areas here and there. So now we can just grab one of those bolts. Just bring everybody back real quick. Made there before. Duplicate. Just remember to change that into a polygon at some point. Still NURBS. That's okay. And the only other thing you're going to need to do is just play around a bit with it so that it looks like it's going to match up on the character here. So I'm going to bring these guys out. Just going to straighten them out. And push it back. And grab the top area. Right here. Push that back. Like that. Now it looks like an actual real joint. You can grab this little guy, a little smaller. Try to get them centered in there if you can as well. Just use your wireframe. You can duplicate it once. Make this guy just a little bigger. And shrink him. Something like that. And there you have it. There's our leg. So that'll pretty much do it for this tutorial. There's not much more I can show you. Selection other than the shoulder joint, and you can just pick this area right here. So hide my grid again. Bring this up. Actually, we're going to duplicate it. And it's going to come into that area right around here. That at 90 degrees. This area will swing out. This time I'm going to insert right down the middle there. And you can kind of match them up if you want as well. And then, depending on if you want to have a cutout or not in your character's hull there, you can just grab something like a torus. Torus. Rotate it towards us a bit, 90 degrees. You don't have to cut into your model. You can if you want, and it really depends on you. So this kind of acts like a little washer or something like that on your model. And the other thing you can do now is just move it around. Center it on your character a bit more. And then shape it a bit. And then something as simple as this area. Just move up a bit. Just make sure you grab all your gun right now. Right click. These guys can kind of move closer together. Grab that rubbery part that we made before. Duplicate that. Make that one smaller. So lots of different things y'all can do at home. And there we have it. So again, that'll pretty much do it for this tutorial. There's not much more I can show you other than, again, just going to town and adding all of these little armor plates. for the legs, and just finishing off the underbelly. You can add some wheels and things like there. Just if I was to do that, it'd probably be another 3 or 4 parts. So there's no real sense in showing you guys all the same little things back and forth. So again, take your time, add as much detail as you can, and I hope you guys learned a lot from this tutorial. Again, it's something I don't do too often as far as hard surface modeling, so it was fun to kind of get back into. I remembered a lot and enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing your all progress. So you guys had a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.